Hi, everyone, and welcome to Out of Nowhere. Well, my special guest today is Steve Colling. Um, what can I say about Steve? He's been a farmer. He's done all sorts in his life. He's interested in UFOs, Bigfoot, werewolves, strange objects in the sky, and lots of different anomalies as well. So, can we please welcome Steve to the show? Hello there.
Hello, everybody. Evening, Bob.
How are
Nice to
you?
be here. I'm okay, Bob. Fine, thank you. Glad to be here.
Well, what can we say? How did it all start for you?
Um, well, as a nipper, really, a young one. Uh, I don't know, 8, 9 years old. I think I saw something. I think possibly about Loch Ness monster, and that piqued my interest. You know, and from there it just carried on, really. The weird and wonderful. Paper clippings. Obviously, in them days there wasn't much about. Going into bookshops and seeing odd books about the world's mysteries, and it just went from there. And the more weird and wonderful it seemed, like the Yeti, abominable snowman, it just got me interested, and that was it. You know what I mean?
Fascinating subject, isn't it?
Definitely. I think it's so diverse. It's one of them you can get. It branches off, doesn't it, into different things, different areas. So there's
Oh, of
always
course
something.
it does. It
You
does.
know,
Because you never
paranormal.
know.
Yeah, it's a big, broad spectrum in it. Paranormal, which covers a lot of things, and so you can go down whichever route you want. But for me, as I got older and that, it was the fair, which
Got you interested.
really got me interested in it, and folklore, the folklore of the fair, and the stories, and it's just something that's stayed with me all my life, and I still am. I'm avidly interested in it. You know what I mean? Now it's wonder. I just think it's wonderful, and that's it.
I can
Um,
imagine it
so,
is. Tell
the
us
story.
about tell us about the gnome you saw.
Yeah. Well, Well,
Like a
I
mythical
called him.
creature.
Yeah, I called him the gnome, for want of a better word. Then, um, I mean, I have thought long and hard about it since, in the years gone by. Was it a gnome, or was it an otherworldly little creature? I don't
Mm.
know. I mean, and obviously, I told you about the um, just after I'd had the sighting, or just before, whichever ever it was, right? There was the crop circle I discovered, which
Mm.
them days they weren't heard of. You know what I mean? And it was
Well,
only in the 70s
tell us a
that I
little
got,
about how you came across the crop circle first then.
yeah, again, walking the fields like I used to do. I used to do shooting in those days, which I'm not proud of now, but it was a farmer's lad's thing to do. And one morning, um, it was the field adjacent to where I had my sighting. And lo and behold, I was on top of it before I thought, oh, I knew what it was really. And it was just so perfect. It was a field of hay, grass, ready to be cut. It hadn't been cut yet for hay. And it was just for all of it, an immaculate circle about, I don't know, 20, 25 foot in diameter of flattened grass, all one way. I would say clockwise. I can't remember, whatever, but just immaculately laid down. The other grass around it was still standing, and obviously then crop circles they were never thought of, or cereal circles or whatever. And I just thought, ah, that's odd, strange, whatever. Never give it a second thought. And then a week later, I was back one morning having a walk round early morning, 5 o'clock in the morning, lovely, like early summer day, you know. They'd just started haymaking on the farm, and I'd walked into this field adjacent to the crop circle. Never gave the crop circle a second thought again. And Filey, where I'm at from, Filey Golf Course, the fields used to run adjacent alongside one of the tees. And so it was close to the golf course, like with a fence dividing it. And the particular field I had my sighting in, it was they'd already been cut maybe halfway round a couple of 2 or 3 times, like, you know what I mean. I walked into it, and I got into the field where the cut, saw where the grass was still standing, and I mean it was pretty long grass. I would say 4 foot tall, excellent grass for hay making grass, beautiful stuff. And I stopped, and I'm just looking towards the fence line beyond the standing grass, and I'm stood there just watching, and then I got this movement, and I thought something coming through there, thinking it's a fox, it's a hare. We had badgers on the farm. Was it a badger, rabbit? You know what I mean? Usual thing, usual wildlife. Yeah. So I'm stood there, standing, and a couple of minutes maybe, and then it was coming towards me. And I thought, well, whatever it is, it's coming, it's still coming. And then it came to the end of where the grass was still standing.
Yeah.
And the next thing I just recall is, for all intents and purposes, it was like somebody drawing a pair of curtains, like you get your hands in and you just pull them back like that. Opening. And I thought, ooh, right. And I mean, bearing in mind, I'm 14, 15 years old at the time. I'm thinking, oh, right, okay.
You're quite young.
Yeah. I'm thinking, right. I thought, wow. And then this little being, whatever, just stepped out, quiet, like all in one movement, like, you know, throw it out. And I thought, oh, wow, what? Who's that? Thinking it was a person, right?
Yeah.
And I thought, it's a person. And I looked and I thought, what is not a person? What is he? What is that? Right? Like I say, totally 2 legs, arms, body.
What clothes did it have on?
Dark. Well, what I thought was dark leggings. I would say, Bob, like dark leggings, like a dark. Once, I mean, years ago we used to call them jerkins. Like, I don't know whether you like. They were like a leather sort of waistcoat, like jerkins, like a waistcoat.
Oh yes, I'm with you. Yeah,
jerkins, right? I don't know what right, and it looked like that, right? But in a dark brown, very dark material. Don't know what material. Could have been leather. I don't know, Bob. Right? No idea. Right? And I noticed it had some form of boots on. I don't know what whether there were but there were definitely boots, right? Definitely boots.
Were they pointed at front?
No, they just looked like ordinary boots, Bob. Like you couldn't really see thingy, obviously the thing is, but just the length of them, if you know what I mean. And I'm thinking, well, right, okay. And it had a, I don't know, like a what could I call it? It wasn't a wool hat or anything like that, but it was a close fitting
like an elf's hat.
No, not like your fairy pictures or what you say. It was like a close fitting, some form of head covering, right?
Right.
It was definitely covering its whatever its ears, whether it had ears or not. It was you know what I mean?
Covering.
Sort of, yeah. So I thought, whoa. And then I looked at its face. It looked at me, and I looked at it. I was looking plumb at it, and I was thinking, whoa, like, you know, what are you? Its face was human looking. It
Yeah.
wasn't any scary or anything like that. It wasn't like your typical gnome, no beard, clean shaven, you know, looked in good health, whatever. Like I say, literally about, I don't know, I would say 3.5 foot tall, you know, slightly taller than the grass, slightly lower than the grass it had come through. Right? And obviously time, when you just mesmerise. I couldn't tell you how long I was looking at it, probably seconds.
Did
a
it
minute, I don't
notice?
know.
Did it
Oh,
notice
yeah.
you?
Yeah. Oh yes, it noticed me, Bob, because it stopped. Right, it stopped, and we were literally 6 foot, no more than that, in front of each other. And
Oh my God, that is
yeah,
close.
oh, it's close. Oh, it was close, Bob. Right, like I say, I'm a young bloke, young kid, like looking, thinking, what is that? What is it? Is it a person? That's all I could think. Is it a person? And I thought, well, no, it's logically that is not. How's that a person? You know. So the next thing, it looked at me, and I was staring at it like, and it was like, I don't know, it was like a thought that I've seen you, you've seen me, you've seen me. And then with that, it sort of half turned, and it was still sort of half looking at me. And then it completely turned away and went exactly through the same path it had come into the grass. And I'm just stood there thinking, right, okay. And I watched it go. I could see the grass again moving. I'm thinking, right, okay, go after him, go after it. What is it? See where he's going.
Yeah.
And I followed it. I don't know, maybe 8-9 foot into the grass field, into the grass light. Could still see it, and then all of a sudden it was just as though it had just gone like that, and there was no movement in the grass. Gone. I thought, wow, okay, and I just stood in the grass thinking,
Memorized.
what that is, right? But it's gone. It's gone. And I came back. I thought, right, that's it. Okay, I'm going to go out, come back out of the grass light, come out of the field, go home, and I thought, well, that's all I can do. What can I do? You know what I mean? What else can I do? I came home late, and by that time, it was, say, an hour had gone by at least. And my dad, obviously a farmer, up, getting ready, doing. My mum was in the kitchen, you know, sort of thing. Come in, and I remember my dad saying, "All right, lad." Anyway, I went, "Aye, yeah." He went, "Matter." Anyway, I just said, "You're not going to believe it, Dad." He went, "What?" I went, "Well," I said, and we had names for the fields as well, right? I can't remember what this was for, like this particular field. I said, "Hey, field, aye." He went, "Aye." I went, "In there," I said, "There's a funny little thing." He went, "Funny little thing." I went, "What?" Well, I said, "Like a man, little man." He went, "Aye." And I remember now, it didn't sort of like, it just went, "Aye." I went, "Yeah." He went, "Oh, right." And I says, it came out with, hey, it came out of the grass and looked at me. And, you know, I says, well, I looked at it and it turned round and went back in. I says, I can't understand it. Anyway, he went, aye, like that. Anyway, he sort of gave me this look, and I know what it meant. What he'd seen it, Bob.
He'd seen it himself.
He'd seen it before, did my dad, and it was like, well, I know, because I've seen it, lad. Obviously, he was a Yorkshire farmer, nuts and bolts, you know, and that was it. Off he went to work, and my mum's. I says to my mum, I remember, I went, "Mum, you know," I went, I did see it. And she turned to me, she went, I know you did, lad. And I thought, you know, you believe me, then you two believe me. I thought, and I'm not, you know, making it up or out like that. Why would I make out like that? I wouldn't have done. That was it. You know what I mean? Furthest from me thought was out like that. And that was my first thing of seeing, well, a gnome, fae, I don't know, Bob, what they're. I like to call them, they're nature spirits. I love to call them that name. I think they're just in the earth, in the country, and they're still here. You know what I mean?
It's funny you're saying that, because I remember I'll just put this in chat.
Yeah.
In one of Paul's books, it reminds me of a sighting in one of Truth, where the contractor had seen small beings in a field while working on a farm in East Yorkshire.
Well, there you go. Yep.
And there were a sighting of another one where a lad was looking out his window down the driveway.
Yeah.
And he saw these beings walking up. They were like little men walking up.
Yes.
And he got back into bed.
Yeah.
And went back to sleep. They were down at breakfast in the morning, and little girl had said to him, I saw them as well last night.
Yeah.
They came into my room.
Yeah. And do you know something, Bob, right? That sighting where I live now, right, is literally 10 minutes away from me.
Oh, is it?
Yep. And I knew the person whose farm it was as well, who had that sighting, and he was another farmer as well. And I told Paul about this as well. I said, I know him. And I said, nuts and bolts. And I says, I think he was the other chap as well who saw the, well, almost cryptid-like, you know, wolf running,
oh, yes. Yeah.
over his fields on Caton Cars. This big black wolf-like thing on two legs. So, you know, it's like I say, from where that happened to where I lived was as a lad is, as a crow flies, 15 minutes, 20 minutes. So
it looks like they've always been there.
Oh, definitely.
These creatures, whatever they are, and they'll always come out. As long as you don't interfere with them, they'll just go back in the fields.
Oh no, this is it, Bob. I mean, this is it. I mean, we had on the farm, we had hawthorn bushes, we had rowan. I know we had rowan trees as well, right? You do not go destroying those. You know what I mean?
Oh, right.
Oh no.
Is that is that something to the folklore?
Yeah, the fair.
Ah, right.
Any country man, Irish countryman or anything like that, right? You destroy hawthorn, whitethorn, rowan trees, anything like that, cut them down. God forbid, you have got the wrath of the fair, and my God, do they can as well. You know, when there has been cases of it where people have done that, landowners, you know, bulldozed, whatever, you know, and next all hell's broken loose, and they know about it. You know what I mean? So they do not touch anything like that. You know what I mean?
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean. So, and we never did. We always had, you know.
Janice was just saying in the chat room. He says, "Was the facial features different from ours, Steve?"
No, I wouldn't. No, I wouldn't say they were, Bob. No, I would say very human looking, but not human looking. If you know what I mean, you know what I mean. But then again, the fae can mimic.
Yes.
Very good at mimicking. Changelings, things like that. You know, babies when they took babies. There were obviously a sickly baby they would take and put one of their own, like, you know what I mean? And so they were human looking. They can be human looking, definitely. Whether they can change And I think they can change form as well, without a doubt. You know what I mean? Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
I do as
Never
well.
do.
Tell us about
Yeah,
when you went to Willie Owl.
yeah, well, that I mean that was this was last year, early well springtime last year it was, and I mean that place. Anybody who has been knows it's a beautiful place and it's very very special, and I think it's one of the most specialist places. I Round here, I do honestly. There is just something there, the in that area and Willie Howe itself. You know what I mean? That is special. So I decided to go one morning because I like retired now, semi-retired now, and I thought, great, I'm going to go. Take a flask with me, and I'm just going to go, and I just love the area so much, and I sit, and it's so peaceful, Bob. You know what I mean? And I went, and it was literally beautiful spring morning, absolutely no wind, anything. Gorgeous it was. And I went round, because it's quite a large area to walk
It is,
around.
yeah.
You know what I mean? So you walk around it, then you can go up into it, and then you go down inside it where it was excavated.
That's right.
I did that like just to have a look, and then obviously I always like to take an offering, and people do, something they've made, little food offering or anything like that, and I always take apple. I always take an apple with me, and I just leave it under one of the trees, and it's just to say thank you for letting me come. I don't mean you any harm, you know what I mean, and that's it. People think I'm loony sometimes doing that, and they can't get it, but that's me. You know what I mean? Anyway, I walked around it. I had my flask with me. So I climbed halfway up the mound, sat on it, and I'm just looking out because it's a beautiful view over the fields and that. And I'm just thinking, this is absolutely gorgeous. Everything's right with the world. And it was one of them mornings, Bob, and I'm sat there and I've just poured my flask out for a couple of that, and I'm just sat there, right, and all of a sudden I heard this. Well, it was like metal, tons and tons of metal either being dropped or dragged, or like massive metal doors being opened, and I thought, what the hell's that? And
They like going into a castle and banging the doors together.
Exactly, but metallic, Bob, that metallic, resonating sound. I thought, what the hell's that? And I jumped, I sort of half like up like that because we sat down like, and I thought, oh, and it was like an earth tremor, Bob. That's all I can think, and it went up my leg, right? And I thought, what's that vibration? I thought it's a vibration, and I stood up, and I thought straight away, because down, I don't know what, quite a few yards away, there's a farm, and that, and you can see it when you sat on the mount, and I'm thinking straight away, is that farm machinery? Was it farm machinery? Is it, because there's a road that goes right past it, which leads down to the farm.
That's right.
Obviously, the model aerodrome club as well. And I'm thinking, and I'm fully expecting to see some machinery coming up, whatever, or, because where Willie Howe is, it is a crop field round it. You know what I mean? I mean, last year it was a crop of potatoes. So, and I'm thinking it must be something coming up. Like, you know what I mean? They've dropped something. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. There's no cars, no aeroplanes, nothing. And I'm thinking, wow, what the hell was that? And I just couldn't believe it. Well, that was it. You know what I mean? So I thought, well, whatever it is, it's happened. And I thought, I'm going to sit back down and I'm going to just drink my tea. And I did. I drank my tea, and I thought, right, okay, after about another 20 minutes, I thought, well, it's not happened again. I'm going to go back to my car. Walk back to my car where it was parked and that. Got in my car. And prior to that, I always like taking photographs of trees. And Willie Howe has some absolutely amazing trees. Spring, summer, autumn, winter, all year round. They are magnificent. And I thought I'll take them because they just started coming in canopy. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
I thought, great, these are beautiful. And I took some photographs. So I thought, I'll just have a look at them. And I'm scrolling through them. And I come to this one and I thought, what's that? What's that? And it was of the ground where I was literally in front of where I was sat. And I thought, well, I didn't do that. I never took that. I thought I never took that. And then all of a sudden, this noise was on it. This metallic noise, right? And I thought, oh God, it's that noise. And it was on. But the funny thing was, it kept repeating and repeating and repeating on my phone. Like somebody hit a repeat button.
Right.
I ain't done it, Bob. I ain't done it. I couldn't have done it.
No,
Right?
you won't be able to do that anyway.
No way. And then I sat back in my car seat and I thought, well, my phone wasn't out. It was turned off. The minute I'd done the filming, I
Turned it off.
turned it off, Bob. I'd put it inside my coat, and I had a waistcoat as well, right? And I put it inside the waistcoat, zipped that up, and zipped my coat up as well, right? My phone never came out of my bloody pocket, Bob, right? Now then. And I took it home and I listened to it. I let my family listen to it and said, well, what is it? What the hell's that? I went, I've no idea, son. My son's like, listen to it. I went, no idea. I said, you tell me. But I said, this is what happened. Obviously, I got in touch with Paul.
Yeah.
And Paul says, he says, what are you doing? And I think it was like day two after like, I says, nothing. He went, do you want to meet me at Willie Howe? He says, because he says, this is unbelievable. I thought, well, yeah, I've got no else on. And I says, right, give us half an hour and I'll be on. Paul came with Linny and he says, I'm going to, I want to like interview you, like what happened and that, like. And he listened to it, like, and he just shook his head. But then Paul said he'd heard that, or some people had heard that at Bempton. The same thing. Yeah. Like they clanking. I went, well, there you go. What the hell is it? But prior to Paul, when I was there waiting for him to come, the bloody I was waiting, like, and just pacing about, like, because you can see the road up to Willie Howe, and there's only one way in and one way out, basically,
Yeah.
And then there's a road that goes past Willie Howe, if you know what I mean, between Burton Fleming and Wold Newton, which is that road, like, sort of thing. So my car's parked in a bit at lay-by, like, sort of thing, and I'm looking and I'm thinking, who's that there? I thought there's somebody stood near my back door. And I'm looking, and I thought, there's a bloody black shape figure. And I thought, who's that? And I started walking, because the track up to it, there's a track up to Willie Howe, and I started walking down, and I thought, there's somebody there. And as I got halfway down, that was it, gone. When it was a shadow. It was definitely a form, black shape form. You could see it, Bob, like, you know what I mean? Like human.
What did it look like?
It just looked like a black, like people say they've seen black shadow people.
Yes, yeah.
That, Bob. It was like that, right? But it was absolutely stood near the back. I mean, it's 4-door car. It was near the back door, right? And I thought, what the hell? Anyway, I thought, I can't believe I've just seen that. Broad daylight yet again. Anyway, with that, I sort of came back, like, and about another 10 minutes later, no more than that, Paul and Linny came. And the first question I asked Paul was, I said, you seen anybody walking, Paul, on the road, coming, or out like that? He went, no, not a soul. And I went, right, okay. Anyway, I told Paul, like, and he went, wow. He went, that's odd. I went, tell me about it. I went, you know what I mean? There's no way, Bob, it was a human person. And even if it was a person, there's no way they could have, you know what I mean,
Well, you'd have seen it, wouldn't you?
You would have seen it, you know what I mean? And I thought, wow, what the hell was that? So, I mean, that was that experience at Willie Howe. And then, like I say, last Midsummer Day I thought I'm going to get up early because I've never been up on Midsummer Day, dawn, and I want to do, you know what I mean? And I thought, do you know something? What better place to do it than Willie Howe?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And I went, and it was beautiful, Bob, right? I saw the sun come up, the deers running about. Oh, it was magical, right? Anyway, fine, nothing happened. Came home, thought that's brilliant, that. And then I got a text off Joe and Andy, and they said, "Do you want to fancy going to Willie Howe tonight, Midsummer Night, for like a look about and that?" I went, "Yeah, look for that." I said, "Funnily enough, I've just come back from that this morning." So I said, "Yeah, mate, yeah." I says, "What time?" 8 o'clock. So bang. I went there. We went there, like, you know what I mean? We had chairs and that, like, sat. I mean, people must think you're nuts, like, sat near an ancient, like, earthwork, surrounded by bloody potatoes, because that's what was growing at the time, like, you know what I mean? But there you are, whatever. So we sat there, lovely evening, beautiful night, looking at stars and that, because you get a great view at sky there as well, you know.
Oh, God, yeah.
And we're talking, chewing fat, whatever we're doing, like. And I don't know, we've been there about an hour and a half, like, sort of thing, and it's getting dusk, like. And I stood up, and Andy said something, and I laughed, and it was like something funny, and I laughed, and I stood up, like, to stretch my legs. And the minute I stood up, I just felt this hand, literally, like somebody go like that on the side of my face, and I went, "Whoa, the blood!" like that. And Joe says, "What's the matter?" Anyway, I went, "Somebody's just touched my face." She went, "No way." I went, "They have, Joe." I says, "I'll tell you what." I went, and whatever it was, I says, it was a very warm hand, like really warm, right? I went, but I says, it wasn't done in a malicious way. It was done in it was gentle. You know what I mean?
Friendly.
Like, and I thought, Jesus Christ. And Joe said, she says, "What is it with you and this place?" I went, Joe says, "I haven't a clue." I went, "I don't know." I went, "But, you know, I can't understand it." But there you go. Can any of us? And then we sat, got sat back down and get light, and it was getting dusker and dusker and dusker. And eventually light went light. And about, I don't know, 10 o'clock, 10:15, I was looking, and yet again, where we were right at front of Willie Howe, looking towards the model aeroplane club.
Oh, I know what you mean.
And I'm looking, and I'm thinking, what's that there? And this red, for all intents and purposes, orb type thing. And where we were sat, I would say no intense red, Bob, right? It may be marble size from where we were stood, you know what I mean? And I'm thinking, that's moving, that. Anyway, I thought, yeah, it's somebody with a torch. And I thought, well, no, it's not. Why would you have a red torch? You don't have red torches. I thought, no, it's not. It's not. And it sort of moved and then stopped. And the sign for Willie Howe Model Aerodrome Club, there is a sign there, right? And it sort of stopped near that. And I thought, it's stopped now. And I turned to Joe and Andy, and I says, can you two see that? And Joe says, "See what?" I says, "That red orb thing, light there." Couldn't see a thing. Andy says, "Can't see anything." And Andy had his psionics, I think it is.
Oh, yeah. Good cameras.
Yeah, whatever. Put on. Went round. He went, "No, there, Steve. Nothing there." I went, "It's there." I went, "I'm looking at it now." Andy, I went, "It's there." He went, "Can't see it." He says, "Absolutely picking nothing up." Anyway, I thought, right, okay, me being me, I'm going to find out what that is, one way or other. So I set off, right? And I know I shouldn't have done it because it's a crop field, and farmer would have gone bloody mad if he'd seen it.
I would have done, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, I picked my way through tatey plants, like, And obviously the road is there that leads down to the farm. And I got to the edge of the road, and I didn't stand on the road. I was still stood in the field, right, looking. And then blow me if another one, like side by side. And I'm
Like
like,
eyes.
whoa, like eyes, literally like eyes. I went, whoa. And this other one had come like from left and joined other one up.
Met.
And I'm looking at it like, and I'm thinking, what the hell is that? I would say maybe 5 foot off ground, literally. You know what I mean? And I thought, whoa, what's that? What the hell is this? And I thought, right, okay then. Anyway, I shouts, who's down there? I went, anybody down there? Nothing, like, you know what I mean? Anyway, then I think it was Andy said, are you all right, Steve? Anyway, I went, have you seen him? Did he say, man? He said, I've seen nothing, mate. I went, they were watching me or watching us. I went, 2 bloody eyes. I went, there was one, then the other one came. Anyway, with that, I thought, back up, back, go back, Steve, right? And obviously I backed up a bit without turning round. And then I turned round, and then I turned round again, right? And they'd totally gone, Bob, right? Gone. They bloody disappeared. And I thought, whoa, no, come on. That is not right. That's
Very
something
strange. It's same as
Yeah.
anything. Some of us are chosen to see things, and some people can't see things.
Exactly. Yes. Yeah. I wholeheartedly believe that, Bob. And I think
Why
a lot
it
of
is,
people.
I don't know why.
No,
They want, you want to see something, and your friends can't see them.
No, exactly. That's it. And I think some people, like you say, some people can just see things, and other people just say, "Don't know what you're looking at. What you're looking at," and it's there. They described it like, you know what I mean, and that's it. But that night, that wasn't the last thing that night as well. So I come back like, and got sat about another half hour chatting away about this, like what it could have been, blah blah blah, and you're looking about, you know, and then I don't know, 3/4 of an hour later, I was on the sort of end. Joe was in the middle, and Andy was at the other end. And like I say, we were right at the base of the earthwork, like. And I looked, and I thought, right, okay, out of peripheral side of me thing like that, sight like that. I'm thinking, that's not my, you know, I hope that ain't something wrong with my eyes. Anyway, just twinkling lights, right? And I thought, there's twinkling lights. And I looked like that to me right. And lo and behold, I would say, I don't know, 3 or 4 feet up towards on the mound, right? There was these little twinkling lights like that. Like literally like fireflies, but they weren't fireflies, Bob, you know. And I said, Joe. She went, what? I went, lights. I said, can you see them? She went, see what? I went, I went, twinkling lights. She hadn't seen anything, right? Nothing. I went, I'm looking at them now, and they were dancing, Bob, like you know. And I'm thinking, oh crikey, you know what I mean? Why am I seeing this and nobody else can? And literally maybe 3 minutes they were there doing it, and then they just like that.
Petered away.
Petered away. That was it. There were no insects. There were no other sorts of light. You know what I mean? And that's what I say. That's Willie Howe that you fire, and you know it's
amazing place to go.
It's magical, Bob. Honestly, that and Rudston, obviously Monument as well, Monolith.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been around there many a time, and that just blows my mind. Does that? It does, because literally where Rudston Monolith is, if you draw a straight diagonal line, you're dead in middle
The
of
ley lines.
Exactly, definitely. And
That's what they are.
That's it. Power lines, I like to call them. Underground power lines.
Yeah, well,
power lines.
Yeah, because they've got some energy.
Yes. Oh, without a doubt. And I mean, it's like that tale Paul told about the pilot. You know, the aircraft in his old biplane, I think it was, because where the model club is, next sort of field away, there was a private airstrip, I think, type, you know what I mean? And this guy had his model, had his plane there, biplane, and he took off one lovely day, flying to, I think it was Whitby, down coast, and whatever, blah, blah, blah. And then when he came back, it was getting nearly dusk, like, not quite dusk, right? And as he was nearly above, or adjacent to Willie Howe, he said it was just like somebody had flown into a spider's web, and the plane just literally stopped
in midair.
It was hung midair, and he said everything went quite deadly quiet. But apparently he saw two suns, you know what I mean, which was totally impossible. And he says he was suspended in animation basically, and he was panicking a bit, I think, was Guy, because it was getting dusk, and he thought, if I don't make it back to where I've come from, I'm going to either have to go to Humberside Airport or whatever, or I'm in trouble, right? But there's power lines that run there as well, and he was worried about clearing the power lines, you know, to try and get back to them. Anyway, all of a sudden, everything came back to normal, and it was like off on his way again, and he cleared the power lines, and he landed, and it was safe, like, sort of thing. Now, you know what I mean? Yet again, Willie Howe, it's you know, it's
one of them places where things happen.
Yeah, without a doubt. Yeah,
and it's probably been happening thousands of years.
It has. I mean, the history of it, like, the tales of the fella who was coming back one night on his horse from Burton Fleming to Walnilton or whatever, and he was riding his horse along, the road that was a thing, and he saw lights there round it and in it, on it. Curiosity got better of him, and he went to see what it was. And as he got there, it was open, was the mound, and his words were, he saw hobs, goblins, elves, fairies at this massive banquet, saw them feasting, the whatever, and he was watching them. Then he said, next thing he knew, this little whatever elf goblin came out with a chalice cup and offered him a drink, offered it to him. But he knew fairy law, do not take any food or drink off them. And he took the chalice, he took the cup, chalice, and he galloped away on his horse. And they were after him. They chased after him. All hell broke loose. And he got to the Gypsy Race, which is the stream that, you know what I mean, runs there, the water course, cleared it on his horse, got away from them, because fae will not cross running water. They will not do it, you know what I mean? And he managed to escape. And the legend goes that he had the chalice or cup, and it was of an unknown metallic whatever substance. And it was given to, it eventually ended up King, I can't remember, King, presented to the King, whoever it was. And you know what I mean? So, I mean, that's just a legend, one of the legends like that, you know what I mean, which absolutely fascinates me.
It is fascinating as well. Tell me about what happened to your horse.
I mean, I was what then, 18, about 18 then, and we had on the farm, obviously it was a mixed farm, arable farm, cows, sheep, you know, and we had shy horse, pet shy horse, Tommy, and you know, just a pet, really magnificent old lad. And he used to live, field where I lived. I lived in the bungalow, which overlooked the field, like what he was in, you know what I mean? So really close. And it was early summertime.
Yeah.
And you know, late nights like so, we got to bed anyway. That following morning, we'd got up, and it was my brother actually who'd said, I've been watching Tommy. He went, he's he said, don't look right. He went, no, he's not moved. Anyway, he said, I'm going to go and have a look. So went out through the gate, with a gate into the field light, and he was literally not far from, the bungalow, like sort of thing. And next thing I knew, my brother Paul, he's running back in, shouting, phone the vet. I don't know what the hell's happened to Tommy. Anyway, my dad says, well, what is it? He says, don't know, Dad. He went, just get vet here now. And he said, I think, well, you're at it as well. Phone the police as well. Anyway, with that, we did. My dad did phone the vet, because only in Filey, like, which is 10 minutes away, literally by car. And he came out, local vet, like, came straight out, like, took him into the field. Shortly after that, young policeman arrived, Filey from Filey police station, and I was gobsmacked. I mean, it was horrific. And what had happened basically was, Bob, I won't think, because the viewers might not like it, you know what I mean, listeners might not like it. It'd just been like from his back, under his back wither, near his back legs, to his front legs. It's just been like opened up like a can opener. And it was like literally, so it wasn't a knife cut. No way
No.
near. No. It was so precise, and it was like this huge, if you can imagine, all this flank side hanging down, literally.
Oh my God.
You know what I mean? I'm not going to, but
No.
you could see it, if you know what I mean. And the vet said, "What?" He says, "I don't understand this." He went, "What the hell?" At first, he thought, "Have you got any machinery in the field? Like, a farm machine, it could have done it." No, nothing. Any barbed wire? Nothing. Wasn't barbed wire at all. There was no barbed wire there. It was post and rail fence. And he said, "I just cannot get this at all." Anyway, we had literally. He said, "The only thing I can do," he says, "is," and I remember my brother, elder brother, and my dad, literally with their arms like pushing it, holding it back while he literally stitched it back in. He
But
said,
no blood, were they?
No. And that was the funniest thing, right? And it was a policeman who said, well, I think the vet said, "There's no blood loss." He went, "I find that strange." When I say no blood loss, there was maybe minuscule amount. And he said that is impossible, because he said, if anybody had ever done that to an animal, he went, and he explained the structure of how many layers you've got to go through to cut. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he says that would have been blood loss. And he said, whoever did it, he says, would have been covered in blood. He said, "I'm telling you now," right? He went, "Where's the blood?" And he went, "I can't explain that." And it was just unbelievable. The young copper, he was only a young copper, he hadn't been in force long. And he said he was practically in tears, Bob. He said, "I've never seen out like that." He said, "I've never seen out like that in my life." He says, "Since I've been in force," he said, "I've been to road accidents," he said, and stuff, but he said, "I've never seen anything like that." He went, "Who could do something like that?" And the vet said, "We're maybe not talking who, we're maybe talking what."
Yes.
You know what I mean? And that was all them years ago, Bob, 70s. You know what I mean?
God.
And I remember when we got him to a thing, we removed him to a stable, like, bless him. And 4 days later, he passed away, which didn't surprise me. I mean, Trump, bloody hell.
Going through.
Oh, yeah. And the vet said, "I don't even know how anything or anybody," so if you want to say that, "could have got hold that close to even a sheep," if you want to say that, "and do that without it absolutely everything." He went everything. He said it's as though, I don't know. He went, we'll never know, will we? But he says, "I find that absolutely mind-boggling." And I always remember the young copper, we took him into, my mum took him into the house, bless her, made him a cup of tea, sat him down, made him a cup of tea, and he said, "What am I going to write in my report?" He said, "I've got a report to write." Anyway, he says, I don't know how to even go about this. Anyway, vet says, leave it with me. He went, I'll have to do a report. You can copy mine, like the injuries sustained, whatever, like, and that. And he says, just put, he went, just put unknown assailant or assailants. He went, but he said, when I say assailant or assailants, he says, you will have to put that, obviously. But he says, I mean, no human hand could have done that. He went, and I know that. And it was awful, Bob. It was grotesque. I mean,
oh my God.
you know, and then obviously your later years, like when it all you hear about, you know, because cattle mutilations and that, and animal
Yeah.
mutilations, it was something that was way down the line. Over here, you never heard that, like, and then all of a sudden the American side came, and it was Linda Moulton Howe who, I mean, I remember getting her book Strange Harvest, what she wrote, and that's who got it all started over there in New Mexico, and it was literally. And the funny thing was, the first mutilation she ever went to and investigated over there was a horse, right, on a ranch, and it had the same thing,
Same one.
so, the same injuries as Tommy had, because it went into detail in her book, and I thought, oh my God, work that one out then, you know what I mean? So unbelievable.
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
Tell us about when you were walking and you thought, what's these black? It looked like men in black walking towards you.
Oh God. Yeah. Well, yeah. Again, that was last. It was the day last year. It was the day before Halloween, and I go walking a lot in Staxton area, woods. You know, all the way around. There's a base there, obviously the RAF base. Yeah. Again, I find it just another area of,
Hi,
I don't know.
strangers.
Very. Oh yeah, definitely. Because I made my friends had seen, and I went with Paul. It was me who got Paul involved with that one. They'd been in there with the dogs, her and her husband, and they'd seen this. All she can describe it was, she thought at first it was a bear with no legs, and it was gliding in and out of the trees. This big black shape, and but it wasn't a bear. And she says, we thought it was a bear, but he said, then as we looked, there was no discernible head, legs. It was just like this black shape,
Body.
body. The dogs went free. They freaked. You know, one of them ran off. They were in a panic. Like, her husband doesn't believe in a thing, like anything paranormal or anything. He used to laugh about it. He doesn't now because he saw it, right? And he said, "Let's go. We're going now. We're going now. Whatever it is, let's get out. Let's get the, you know what, out of here."
Yeah.
He said, "We're gone," and they managed to get the dog back, and they went. And when I got Paul involved in that one, that was the and I said to her, I'll call her Amanda because she won't think. I went, "Are you okay coming back up here, Amanda?" She went, "I am with you, and you know these other people." But she went, "This is the first time I've been back." She went, "I won't come up here." She went, we will not come up here again ever. And they didn't. And it was only because I had sort of, well, sweet talked her, like, you know, because Paul
Yeah.
wanted to interview her, and she agreed to do it, and she did. You know what I mean? And then lo and behold, another two people contacted Paul, man and woman, and they'd seen the exact same thing. You know what I mean? This exact same thing. So I don't know what the bloody hell that is. So there is something in there. But going back to what I saw, right? I've been walking because I can go early morning, I can go late at night, Bob. It doesn't bother me. You know what I mean? I've been up there in the dark, and it doesn't bother me. Uh, you know, if I see something, you see it. But I've not had any bad experience really frightening, what I'd call frightening. Odd experiences, there were definitely odd ones. And I was up there, like I said, and it was 10:30 in the morning. I'd finished my walk, and you sort of come down from the top of where the RAF base is into the woods, and it's a gradual slope walking down. It's okay going down, but it's a bit of a beast walking up, you know. And I'm walking down, minding my own business, and as you get to the bottom, it's a very acute angle to turn, like you know what I mean, to go what I call onto the bottom track that leads you out of the woodlight, you know what I mean. And I get started walking down like, went round the corner, and I looked up, and I thought, oh, 3 people coming, you know, not unusual. Right, I thought 3 people, because you get dog walkers, hikers, mountain bikers, all that in there. Like, I thought 3 people coming. So I'm walking, and I maybe from the corner, I'd maybe walked 20 yards, and I thought, looked, and I'm thinking, oh. And they were walking, 3 of them, completely in like that. 3 of them like that. You know what I mean? Together like that. Whoa, right, okay. And as I got looked, I thought, are they youngish? And there was 2 guys and a girl. 2 guys were side by side, and the girl was at the other end. Like, and I'm thinking, right, okay. And I'm looking, and I stopped. I'd stopped dead, and they sort of came towards me more, and I'd say, I don't know, maybe 8-9 foot away. They stopped, and they're all saying that. And I'm thinking, oh, right. Me being me, I said, morning. Right. And didn't say anything at first.
Nothing.
Oh, okay, I thought, okay. Anyway, I thought, right, okay. And I looked, and I thought, oh, what are they wearing? What the hell have they got on? They had beautiful suit, Bob. Like, I think it was a suit, black suit, immaculate, white tie, white shirt, white tie, jacket, trousers. Both the guys were dressed the same. The girl, I think she had black like slacks on, trousers, lovely like black blazer on with a white blouse. Know that. She had her hair like, I don't know, so like straight back, like, you know what I mean, off her face. I remember that. And I thought, God, they're young. They're only young. I wouldn't have put them any more than 20, Bob. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Really. And I'm thinking, what the hell are you doing walking in a woodland in clothes like that, right?
It was muddy.
It's muddy as hell, Bob. Honestly, you know, you cannot avoid it, right? There was wet leaves, mud, and this particular area, it was the lowest point, if you know what I mean. So it was really, really muddy area, and I'm thinking, what the hell? And as I was watching, looking at him, right, the guy nearest me, he just said, "We like the stickers on your vehicle." I thought, what? And I didn't even reply, Bob, because I thought, what?
Strange.
Yeah. And like I say, they looked, they were there, they never took their eyes off me. And I thought, I am certainly not taking my eyes off you, right? And then the thought crossed me, well, I've got to be by him here.
Yes, you have.
My right hand side is a drop off down into the ravine, Bob, right? You know what I mean? So I thought, right, okay.
Not going that way.
I'm not going that way. If I'm 40, you know, I thought, right, okay. And then you start thinking daft things in your head. Right, there's 2 lads there. I can maybe, you know, even at my age, I thought I can maybe take one of them. Or, you know, I thought, right, okay, I'm going to have to go. I started walking. They were still there. They moved. Statues like that. And I thought, right, okay. And I got by them. I got level with them. And I thought, right, ooh. Didn't look at them. They didn't even look at me. They were looking like ahead. Anyway, as I got past them, I maybe gone, I don't know, 3 foot by them. I thought, I'm going to have to look back. And I looked back, and they were still there. And then I looked down at their feet, right? And I thought, no way, right? No, impossible. It just looked like, for all intents and purposes, Bob, they'd been into a shoe shop. Well, I don't know, and bought the shiniest, blackest shoes you can imagine, right? And they were absolutely spick and span, right? And I looked at them and I thought, that is no way, that's impossible. You cannot have walked, if you've walked from where I'm going back to my car, right, where
Yeah.
it's parked, no way you would not have walked there. I defy anybody to put a pair of black leather shoes or whatever, any shoes on Bob, right, and walk there without them getting absolutely filthy, right? And I thought, and that is really one of the things that I thought that is the most weirdest thing I've seen. So I thought, right, okay, just keep walking now, go, right? And I carried on, and then I thought, right, I'm going to have to look again. And I looked back, right, and they'd gone, totally gone, right. And I thought, right, okay, rationalise this. Anyway, I thought, no, I'm going back. I thought, if something kicks off, it kicks off. But I thought, I've got to find out what's happening here.
Yeah, of course you do.
I walked back to where you start going around the corner, up the incline, right? Gone, nothing, absolutely nothing. There is no way on God's earth, Bob, they could have gone anywhere, because the woodland inclines like that. You know what I mean? You have to scramble up the bank. You can't do it without getting yourself absolutely thing. The timeline wouldn't have allowed it, right? They'd gone. I just stood there and I thought, what have I just seen? Who were they? Well, who were there? And then I thought, right, go, get back to the car, just go. And I got back to my car, right, and I sat in my car, like, thinking, I don't know, what have I just experienced? And then obviously it's like, but he said, we like the stickers on your car. I have stickers on my car, Bob. You know what I mean?
How did you know that?
How did he know that? How the hell did he know it was my car? People go up there and park the cars. It's quite normal. Dog walkers go up there. You can get maybe, it's a bit of a funny one. You can get about 4 cars parked up there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you know, how the heck? And I thought, how did you know it was my car? My car. He knew it was my car.
I said so, didn't I? I like your stickers on your car.
I like my stickers on my car, right? And I thought, what the hell's that all about? I mean, what a random thing to say. It says, like, you wouldn't have done it. I wouldn't have dreamed it.
No, you wouldn't have done, would you?
It was bizarre, Bob. It was bizarre. It was out of place. Bizarreness. That's all I can say it was, right? But for all intents and purposes, they looked flesh and blood, you know? But I don't think they were for a minute. I don't think they were. I think that whatever you'd like to call them, I don't know.
They were interdimensional.
I think so, Bob. I think so, because that happens. You know what I mean? Walk through a portal or whatever, what you call them, and they were maybe in the right place at the wrong time, right place, or I was one of them. And it bled into one another. I don't know, and I think that's all I can put it down to, Bob. That, you know what I mean? And I was just blown away by it. And like I said, every time I go up there, it's like, am I going to see him again? Am I going to see him again? I never have done. I maybe never will. But I don't know. I don't know.
One of those things in life. I know we're about Willie Howe. Jojo just said, Stephen, do you recall the faint tingling music and drumming sound we heard that night? All the lights you and Andy saw in the sky.
Yeah. Sorry, Joe. Yes, I do. Yes, we did hear drumming, like a drumming, and it was literally coming from on Willie Howe or in Willie Howe, and it was a faint drumming. We all heard that, and also we did see, and it was Andy who'd seen this light in the distance.
Yeah,
you know, fields away, like, and that, and he, like I say, the camera he had, I think it's a Simex, I'm not sure, like night vision thing. he'd got it, and he said, "I'm looking at it now. I'm looking at that light now." He said, "Don't know what the hell it is." And I looked at it. I said, "Yeah, it is." And it was just like this light there, like to me, it was like pulsating, and no light there. There was no farmers, buildings, lights there or out. Whatever it was, we don't know what it was, Bob. No idea. but the drumming, yeah, we heard the drumming. Literally, we heard the drumming, and you know what I mean. It's yet again.
It's strange, I know.
Yeah.
Very strange.
Yeah. Oh yeah, without a doubt. It's.
I'm going to ask you about that strange animal your dad saw that going to cut something out as well. Like your dad came in and he said, "I want you to come and see this animal."
Yeah.
And you said, "What, Dad?" He said, "There's a strange animal. I want to show you something about it." So you went out. What did you see?
Well, obviously, my dad was a very well-known pigeon fancier and obviously show judge and that and he had a lot of valuable pigeons, and he'd been watching this creature, animal, and it was on a low, about, I don't know, 4 foot high, thick branch that ran nearly to the edge of his pigeon loft. And he'd come inside to me and he just said, "Steve, come and look at this." And I went with him. I went, "Well, what is it?" He went, "It's there." Anyway, we were literally, I don't know, 12 foot away, Bob, maybe no more than that. Didn't even bother with us. It was more intense on the pigeons, because the pigeons were out, obviously. And he was watching them. And I looked and I was like, "Well, is it a cat?" And Dad says, "I don't think that's no cat." And it was, well, like I say, Bob, I don't know what it was. I couldn't even put as anything near what is alive today or was alive then. If I had to say anything, it was just.
Was it like a mongoose?
Oh. It was. Well, I if I had to put a thing to it, I'd say it was mongoose-like, but it was definitely not a mongoose, Bob. No way. It was just absolutely sheer black. About, I would say, if it was on the ground, literally it would be stood a good 4 foot off the ground on its legs. Sleek. Its tail wasn't cat-like. It wasn't. It was more very thin, very, very thin. It was muscular, very muscular, like for its size, like sort of thing. Elongated head. Its head, very, very. Everything about it was geared up for stealth. If I think, Bob, it would be.
Right, with you, yeah.
Stealth, and obviously a carnivore. Definitely, without a doubt, a carnivore. It had, thicker whiskers than normal, thicker than a dog's, thicker than a cat's, and it could see its claws, not cat-like, and it definitely, I don't think it was anything that could like a cat, retract them. Claws, literally, you could see them, right? You know what I mean? So whatever it was, I do not know to this day, and neither did my dad. You know what I mean? It was just an unknown, and I have never ever come across anything. I used to scour wildlife books. Nothing. No, nothing.
So do you think it was prehistoric?
That's the only thing I can think of, Bob. It's the only thing I could think of. I wouldn't even say it was something that was a hybrid that had bred with
someone else
species. No, I would think no. Whatever it was, I haven't a clue. It wouldn't have looked out of place in what should I say, Natural History Museum, say. Dinosaur.
In one of these big containers looking.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. You know what I mean? Without a doubt. Not a clue what it was. Not a clue. And then you think, like, moving back in time or forward in time about Tommy, like our horse, could that have? But I don't think it would have been big enough to do that, Bob.
No.
You know, even as a flesh and blood carnivore set, I don't think it would have been to inflict them injuries.
So it was jet black then.
Jet black, absolutely. There wasn't a bit of white, grey, colouring, like pigment, like melanistic. A lot of people say like melanistic colour. It was like this night black. You know what I mean? It was like somebody had painted it with black gloss paint. That,
oh my
God!
Frightening.
It would have. If it honestly, if that had crossed in front of you, you'd have thought, what's the hell? I'm going other way quick. You know what I mean? But it was intent on stalking his pigeons, and you know what I mean. And no, it wasn't even weasel-like or out like that, because a lot of some, later on, like people say, well, was it a weasel? No. It wasn't even weasel-like, stoat-like. It wasn't even anything like that. So I don't know what the hell. To this day, I don't understand. I don't think I ever will.
No, you probably won't. You won't know what it is.
No.
But they seem to come out in certain areas.
They do what? Yeah, they do. Because I mean, you know yourself, the sightings we've had around here, black cats or whatever they are.
I saw. Me and Paul saw the Black Panther coming away from Bempton in 2017. I think it was October 28th to 29th.
Yeah.
9:30 at night. Came straight in front of the car. I said to Paul, what the hell is that?
Yeah.
Massive big curly tail.
Yeah.
We knew what it was straight away.
Yeah.
It's a bloody black cat.
Black cat. That's it. Definitely. But like I say, Bob, this wasn't a cat. It wasn't a cat. It was nothing. The only thing you could say of cat-like was probably the stealth of how it was, how it was behaving, but it wasn't a cat. No.
Just makes you wonder what else is out there.
Oh yeah. I mean, how many people? And I do believe there's people out there that's seen things and will not come forward. They'll take it to the grave with them. You know what I mean?
Oh, I'm sure they will do.
I think it would and if they do, it would.
The amount of sightings down the East Coast of werewolves, it's bonkers.
Yeah.
What people have seen and said, couldn't believe what I was saying. And frightened, they were scared, and they won't go back up there ever again.
No, that's it. No, this is it. I mean,
I know you were saying about Bempton. You don't like Bempton, do you?
I'll tell you what, Bob, right? I went up there last summer, I think it was, and it was yet again, Andy and Joe, we went up, and this was broad daylight, people there, the bird reserve obviously is there, and I went up, and I'll tell you what, Bob, I stood on that platform, one of them platforms, right, and I got the weirdest feeling. And I had to cut. I stepped back, and it was Joe said, and I think it was either Andy or Joe said, "Don't you like heights, Steve?" And I went, and I said, "No, it wasn't heights, Bob. I don't like heights. Don't get me wrong, but
it wasn't
heights. It was just feeling of Jesus Christ. There's something not right here, and that was broad daylight. And I won't go up there on my own nighttime. If somebody said there's £500 there, Steve, will you go there? I said, no, keep it. No, not a chance. I might go up there with other people.
Yes.
As a group, but there ain't no way on God's green earth would I go on my own.
And it's strange enough, a lot of people have said that over the years. They've gone up there and said, not going ever again. I don't like it up here. I feel as though I'm being watched.
Yeah, it's just
like
something.
Like meat.
Yeah, it's weird. It's like something. with me, it was like something is gonna in a minute. It's gonna tell me something. It's gonna, like tell me something or something in my head, and I don't like it. I don't think I'd like it. I can't explain it, but it's odd, weird, and I won't.
I
I
think
will
two
not.
people over the years, Janet took her son up and he wanted to get over the fence and jump.
Oh my God! Yeah. Oh my God!
And then a lad, young Alex, he's gone to work away now, and he was
Yeah.
up there and he felt as though he wanted to go over.
Oh my God! Jesus Christ! I can believe it, Bob. I can wholeheartedly. People have done it, haven't they? Who have wanted to.
They have.
You know that.
You know,
It's
even if
basically-
it was fear factor or not,
well, it
people
makes
have
you wonder, doesn't it?
jumped
Yeah. But I mean, we know for a fact
for
there's been
some
people
reason.
disappeared there, haven't they? Just
They
gone.
have. Over the years,
Totally
it's quite
disappeared.
a few people
They
have
haven't
just
jumped. They haven't
vanished.
gone up. Vanished. You know what I mean?
Gone out for
And-
a walk with the dog. Said,
Yeah,
I'll be back. I'll be back for tea time. Never came back.
Never come back. Found the car that parked there or whatever. Everything as order. Nothing. Never been back. It's just you can't. There is some force, whatever there. I haven't a clue. And it's not a nice force either. It's not. It's not like something you'd.
It got me one
Well-
night up there, and it's first time in 10 years.
Mm,
I went off on my own
Mm.
with my tribe meter,
Mm.
and I went up the second one on.
yeah. Aye.
Second one on, quite a big
Yeah.
one there. I
Yeah,
walked
yeah.
up that slope and up to the top, and I felt as though someone was watching me. Don't know why. And it's never happened like that.
No.
And
no.
I said, I shouted for Paul. I went, Paul,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah.
I said, come here.
Yeah.
I said, I just feel frightened. I don't know why. I felt as though someone was going to get me. And I'm not
Yeah.
usually like that up there.
No. So
And he
I'm
said,
not Bob.
and believe it or not, he said, you won't believe it. Week before, Steve Ashbridge were up here, and he said the same thing.
Yeah. No, it's just absolutely something.
It comes over you.
It does. It's like I don't know. It's like it does, and it I don't know. Does it know a certain person?
And like in winter months, the grass has gone down, so it ain't as though you could hide from it in it.
Oh no! This is it. But I mean, there's they've filmed all sorts up there, haven't they? Orbs, lights.
Oh
everything.
God, yeah, we have over years.
They even filmed that in down cliffs, didn't they? In sea, that heat source.
Oh yeah,
Well,
and I've seen the
miserable,
triangle
isn't
in
it?
the sea. Me and
Yeah,
Paul
there you
saw
go.
a triangle in the sea,
Yeah.
going away,
Yeah.
and we watched it for bloody hell, 20 bloody minutes, and then we
Yeah.
both turned to his right and saw an object. It was like a trailer, I should say, I don't know, say 100 foot by 50 foot, red outside the cliff.
Unbelievable.
And we both turned and saw it.
Yeah. Impossible.
I don't know why we both did it.
Yeah.
Then look at that there. What's that?
Yeah.
Then it went out.
Yeah. Impossible. We know that. Anybody who's even been there, it's just impossible for anybody to even go down there, walk down there, let alone get down there. It can't. That's it. It's so dangerous.
It's totally impossible.
Yeah, it is. It is. So what the hell is it? You know what I mean?
And at the same time, them strange vehicles were being seen all over, down at Sledmere, other side of Bridge that way, with these radar things on back of them.
Yeah.
Same time as though they were looking for something.
Yeah. They know what it is, Bob. We know that. I 100% know the military, whatever government, military, coverts, whatever. They know what's happening, and they do honestly. And we'll never be told. You know what I mean? But I know. You know what I mean? I don't need telling. I know what it is. So
Exactly. But But thank you for coming on the show. We've done about an hour and 20 minutes.
Brilliant. That's okay, Bob. You're welcome.
It soon goes by.
Yeah, it does. It does.
You know, it so goes so quickly. And everything what you've talked about tonight is just amazing stories from one to the other. And, you know, we spoke about this before. Are we the chosen ones to see these things?
I mean, from my point of view, for, you know, the word I like to use is eclectic, right? What I've experienced, it's a bit eclectic. It's a bit this, bit that, like, you know what I mean? But is it all part of the whole same thing? You know what I mean? Which,
yes,
I don't know. But I shall continue doing what I'm doing, Bob, and enjoying what I'm doing.
Carry on going out.
Definitely.
Just be careful where you go.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, that's it. You know what I mean? I'm not. You know, I'm always careful. Like, I never put myself in harm's way or out like that. Or
no, but you're a curious person. Will think, I'm going to go follow that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, without a doubt.
And it's strange, but Paul's like that as well. I remember. Him and Andy walking upside at thing at Bempton.
Yeah.
And saw big eyes in field.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
And Paul went out for it. So Andy said, "Don't leave me."
He was scared, wasn't he? Yeah.
He was scared, but that thing, them eyes were going to get him. But no, not Paul. He wanted to see what it was.
That's it. And I think sometimes you've just got to grasp the nettle. And yeah, you might not like what you see, like, but you've got to do it for your own. Well, you know what I mean? For your own self to think, yeah, okay, I know now, you know, and I would do it. I would do it.
I know years ago when we interviewed a guy who used to work on the camp, he did say to me, Paul, never ever go up on your own in the future because people are watching you too.
Yeah, how did he?
I said to Paul, you know, all that time you've been coming, sometimes when I couldn't get up there and you were going up on your own.
Oh yeah,
don't do it no more. Call somebody.
Yeah, no. Well, I mean, that time he was bloody shot at, wasn't he?
I know, on his own.
Bloody hell.
During day.
During day. You know, when you've been shot at, believe you me.
And I went down, was it day after with him?
Yeah.
And he said, this is where it was. I went, bloody hell, fire. Because we were trying to find it. So, bullet must be somewhere down here, somewhere.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah.
And when he phoned police up, they said, he's still getting shot. He said, shot.
Yeah.
And they never sent nobody out or anything. But Paul did write a letter to Chief Superintendent.
Yeah. You'd have thought, mentioned firearms, would have been like all over like a rash.
Oh, you bloody would have done. If he just said, they're still shooting me now, somebody could probably come up.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Work that one out, like, you know what I mean?
There'd be sirens, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Or helicopter coming over.
Oh, without a doubt, it would have been all hell broke loose, wouldn't it? But no, it's.
I think he says to Paul, ring 101.
101. Yeah.
101. I'm just getting bloody shot at.
101. Yeah. I want the SOS to you. Come on. Yeah.
You know, so and when they checked on it, it was never logged, that phone call.
Yeah, there you go, innit? There you go, innit? That's it, innit? I mean, how many times do people phone like police say, I've seen this, I've seen that, like, and they never, you know what I mean? They won't be logged. Just
Steph's in chat room. She said, really enjoyed listening to Stephen's accounts. Thank you for your time tonight. Another great show, Bob.
Brilliant. Well, yeah, excellent.
Janice has said, great show, Bob and Steve.
Thank you. Excellent.
Well, thank you for coming on. Yes. And I mean, short notice. You didn't get to know bloody Wednesday.
No, you're all right. No problem, Bob. Anytime. Like I say,
I've enjoyed it.
Good.
I know Andy's been in chat room tonight, and he does his own radio show. You might get a phone call from Andy. Andy Booth.
Oh, Andy. Yeah. Oh, yeah, Andy. Yeah. Well, I'm always on his cast, like, you know what I mean? Brilliant is Andy. I love him.
Nice guy.
Yeah. He is very, very.
I was on his show.
Yeah.
About a month ago.
I watched that with you when you were on it, Bob, with him. Yes, I did. I saw you. Yeah. But no, it's good. There is some good investigators out there. You know what I mean?
Oh,
There's a lot
definitely.
of, without a doubt, genuine, what I call genuine as well. A lot of them, yeah, they're out for whatever. I didn't get saying that, but I know the ones who I think, yeah, they're okay.
There's only quite a few people around the world now who I would say are up there with the best, and that's Paul Sinclair.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. Oh, without a doubt. Without
Because
a doubt.
Paul's out there every day and every night,
Yeah.
going,
Never read.
investigating. A lot of these are on ancient aliens going on the 40 or 50 years ago.
Yes. Yeah.
They don't go out there boots on ground now.
No. This is it. This is
Not a
it.
clue. There's only
No,
quite a few people who still do it.
Yeah, definitely. Without a doubt. That's it. The genuine ones who get into bloody woodlands and forests and God knows what, like, you know what I mean? But that's what
Definitely.
That's what it's all about with me, Bob. You've got to get out there.
Like you,
like
what you're doing now, getting out every morning or when you can.
Yeah, that's it. It's, you go, and Paul will tell you go out there and you don't go out with the intention of seeing anything. You know what I mean? I don't. I just go out there like thinking I'm in nature and that's it. And if something happens, well, something happens. And out of the ordinary.
Yeah, I totally agree with you there. Well, thank you for coming on the show. It's been absolutely wonderful.
Brilliant, Bob. Thank you.
It's been great talking with you tonight.
Excellent.
You're a sound bloke.
Anytime.
Thank you very much indeed. Thank you to everybody in the chat room as usual. My guest next Wednesday is Chad Lewis. He's wrote a book, Winter Legends and the Law. I know he's done a lot on Bradshaw Ranch. And Land Between the Lakes.
Yeah, brilliant.
He's on next Wednesday. And then next Friday, I've got Jim Segalia. Jim is a fantastic guy. He talks about giants in America.
Yeah, I've seen him.
So that's like two great guests next week.
Fantastic.
One on the 1st and one on the 3rd.
Excellent. Got that down already. Yep. Brilliant.
Well, thank you again.
All right, Bob, no problem.
You take care.